Hello everyone. So this is C. Redima Mehendiratna and today I have made this video for a specific purpose. In this video I will be sharing some important interview questions which I have faced in my campus as well as off campus interviews. I feel that I should share these questions because the questions which I will be sharing now, these are sort of common questions that can be asked in your interviews as well, whether you are going for the small campus is going to be held or in other off-campus interviews as well. So I feel this these are the sort of some basic common questions that everyone should know and can be asked in our interviews. So the one we all know about, the most important question from which the interview began, that is, tell me about yourself. So this is the one most important question, and you have to present it with your best self, describing about yourself when you cleared your exams, about your articleship experience in detail, your academic details. Some strengths can also be added in this answer. So this is a sort of tell me about yourself. I believe that you all have prepared very well in this. Like this should be learned by heart. If anyone just आपको कोई नींद में भी पूछता है तो आपको रटा होना चाहिए. So ये तो एक बहुत ही common basic question है कि that will be asked in every interview, whether it is technical round, whether it is HR round. Tell me about yourself, you will get. Now इसमें एक important tip, like in many of YouTube videos I seen that they are telling that in writing those answers they are also adding their family background, like my mother is a housewife, my father is a businessman, I belong to this city. So guys, from the interview experience I have faced till now, I suggest you don't add these in tell me about yourself answer, because in HR round, when the first question is tell me about yourself and the second question they automatically ask describe your family background. So दो अगर आप वहीं पे ऐड कर दोगे your family background and all and tell me about yourself, one thing, you are just unnecessarily adding the making the answer lengthy, because here they want to know it's only about you and your articleship experience. So इस क्वेश्चन को आप जैसा डिस्क्राइब करते हो आपका नेक्स्ट इंटरव्यू का जो फेस है मोस्टली इस पर डिपेंड हो जाता है. लाइक आपने अपना आर्टिकलशिप एक्सपीरियंस बताया इन द टेक्निकल राउंड, वो फिर आपके कुछ टेक्निकल क्वेश्चंस उसी पर बेस्ड होते हैं. सो इस क्वेश्चन में या वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, व्हेन यू आर एडिंग योर आर्टिकलशिप एक्सपीरियंस, उसमें जो भी आप लिख रहे हो कि यू हैव फाइल्ड इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न्स, जीएसटी रिटर्न्स या TDS TCS रिटर्न्स, ऑडिट, इंटरनल ऑडिट, स्टैट ऑडिट, जो भी यू आर एडिंग यू शुड नो अबाउट दैट, बिकॉज नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फिर आपसे उसी एक्सपीरियंस पे ज़रूर आएगा इन डिटेल. दे वॉन्ट टू नो दैट वेदर यू हैव एक्चुअली डन दैट वर्क प्रैक्टिकली और यू आर जस्ट सेइंग. ओके, सो अगर आप अपना कोई भी एक्सपीरियंस इसमें ऐड कर रहे हो, आर्टिकलशिप एक्सपीरियंस, कोई आपने कोर्स ऐड किया कि रिसेंटली आई डिड अ कम्युनिकेशन स्किल कोर्स और एक्सेल कोर्स, तो उससे एक दो क्वेश्चन आपके पास आने ही आने हैं. सो वो स्किल, वही एक्सपीरियंस ऐड करो टू द वन यू एक्चुअली नो. ओके, एंड या personal family belongings and all, city where you live, that thing should be avoided, because this is the next second question in HR round. Till the interviews I have faced till now, so I have found this very common. Like in HR round they ask about your family backgrounds. Okay, so moving from the first question, that is tell me about yourself, it is a very important question as I tell you. The next one is next questions is, these are some basic questions which can be asked in accounting and auditing profile, if you are going for accounts profile or internal audit profile, I will say, because these questions, some common questions I found in both of these profile interviews. I had appeared for internal audit profile interview as well as the accounting interview. Okay, so there I found some common questions, like question number one, what are the three basic rules of accounting? Because here they want to check that whether you have the basic knowledge of accounting or not. They know you have studied in DS, you have cleared the final level, but still they ask some basic questions, right my friends? They ask. So question number one can be, what are the three basic rules of accounting? You all know real, personal, nominal, debit, credit, or what comes in debit, what goes out credit. So these three rules you should all know. The next question which comes here is what is accounting equation? Like assets equals to liabilities plus capital. So accounting equation, this is also one of the important basic accounting question from the which can be asked to check whether you have good basics of your accounting concepts. The next question is, give journal entry of credit sales. Yeah, don't be surprised, this have been asked with one of the big four interviews. In one of the big four interviews I had appeared for internal audit profile. So in that interview, they asked me this question: give journal entry for credit sales. Then when I give the answer correctly, then next question, okay, when if a GST is involved, now give the journal entry. And the third one, that when you realize the collection from the debtors of that credit sales and the debtor has to deduct your TDS, so what journal entry you will pass. So these three questions, linked questions, these were asked in internal audit profile interview by the big four companies, because they want to check the basic accounting concepts. Now the next question is like, give the journal entry for bad debts, and if the provisions are involved, and when you write off the bad debts, what will you do. Journal entry for outstanding expenses, journal entry for prepaid expenses, and when you actually pay those outstanding expenses, when you actually incur the prepaid expenses. So these sort of questions like journal entries can be asked, so you must have a grip on your basic accounting concepts as well. Like these are the common questions which I feel can be asked with you as well also, if you are going for any big four interview or a good CA firm interview. Now the next these questions which I will be covering now in the further video, these are for specifically if you are going for any accounts profile, like if you are going in a company which provides accounting services in Ind AS, and you have to you want to appear for that interview. So some basic questions, basic not basic, these will be advanced level Ind AS based questions. So basically these will be asked in accounts profile, but even in audit interviews it can be asked, like Ind AS 115. Number one, this entire Ind AS is very important if you are going for any accounting interview or even auditing. I'm mentioning that in audit also they check that they can ask the question like, how will you recognize the revenue. So they will not directly say that give me the 5 steps of Ind AS 115. They will indirectly say that how will you recognize the revenues. So there you have to say about the 5 steps of Ind AS 115, right? So Ind AS 115 entirely is very important, but still if I would say that you have very less time and you want to just brush up the concept, so most important question from this Ind AS is 5 steps to recognize the revenue, and give example that how will you cover these 5 steps in this fit example of it. Like when in one of my interview based on which was for the accounts profile job, they asked, first question was 5 steps to recognize revenue, and the second question they asked that, okay Ridhima, so give any example where you will check all these 5 steps and how will you recognize the revenue, and when will you recognize the revenue. So that sort of questions can be asked. The next one is Ind AS 116. It is also very important. Now it is one of the new Ind AS. So this is a very important concept to be covered if you are going for accounts profile, and you have to cover this Ind AS very properly. So here are some important questions. Again, if you are having less time, so important questions from Ind AS 116 which you should do is, number one, 5 conditions to classify a lease as a finance lease. So you should know the finance lease की 5 conditions, that any one of the following होता है ना कि इन 5 में से एक भी satisfy होती है, and तो lease finance lease है, otherwise it is operating lease. So ये 5 conditions you should know. The next question from Ind AS 116 is why Ind AS 116 actually came into picture, why it replaced Ind AS 17, what was the need of Ind AS 116 when we were having Ind AS 17, then why it was replaced and the new Ind AS 116 came. So this is very important question, and just Google down this answer, and if you want answer from me, then also you can comment in the video like what questions I am saying here. If you want any answer from my side, I will also make a separate video of the answers, because in this video I will be covering the important questions which I feel you all should cover up. The next question is, for accounts profile, what is deferred revenue? Deferred revenue, what is deferred revenue? In what cases or conditions we does not record revenue but we record deferred revenue, and whether it is asset or it is a liability. So what treatment you will give, and when actually you recognize the revenue, then how will you write off the deferred revenue, what will be the journal entry of writing off. So this is also an important question to be asked, which can be asked like in 2 interviews. This is a common question asked from me, and one is even for when I appeared for the interview of GST and ROC profile, even there they ask me this question, deferred revenue. So I feel this is important question. The next question is like, due to application of Ind AS 116, whether our asset turnover ratio will increase or decrease. So you have to answer this question. So just check it out. If I'll give a hint, then it will decrease because your assets will increase, and if keeping the turnover same, so because of the application of Ind AS 116, because now in the lessee's books, your assets will increase. Now you have to debit the right of use assets in a books of account, so it will decrease. Okay, so this is also an important question. The next question is, what is impairment loss? What is the formula to calculate impairment loss, right? I have faced a question of this from this Ind AS as well. Along with that, cash flow statement, it is also an important question for accounts profile. What is cash flow statement? 3 activities. Explain 3 activities with examples as well. And one of the most important questions from this is working capital changes, adjustments we do in cash flow from operating activities में जो हम working capital adjustments करते हैं, तो उससे भी they ask question कि like मेरे इंटरव्यू में ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है कि इफ़ देयर इज़ एन इंक्रीज इन अकाउंट्स रिसीवेबल, देन उस इंक्रीज का व्हाट विल यू डू द ट्रीटमेंट इन योर ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटीज़ कॉलम, कैश फ्लो फ्रॉम ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटीज़ में इसको ऐड करेंगे या इसको लेस करेंगे, एंड इफ़ यू आर एडिंग दिस और इफ़ यू आर सब्ट्रैक्टिंग दिस, देन गिव मी द रीज़न why you are adding or why you are subtracting. So this is one of the important questions as well. So अभी तक जो questions मैंने cover करे, the one starting के these were the basic questions. Accounts as well as audit profile दोनों में, स्पेसिफिकली ऑडिट में मैं इंटरनल ऑडिट ज़्यादा टारगेट करूँगी क्योंकि मैंने इंटरनल ऑडिट प्रोफाइल में ये बेसिक क्वेश्चंस मुझसे पूछे गए. एंड अकाउंट्स प्रोफाइल में तो इंपॉर्टेंट है ही कि रूल्स ऑफ अकाउंटिंग इक्वेशन. सो दीज वर द क्वेश्चंस. तो ये आप अच्छे से करो. इसमें से अगर कोई भी 2 या 4 भी फंसते हैं क्वेश्चंस आपके इंटरव्यू में, तो मेरा पर्पज़ यहाँ पे पूरा होता है मेरी इस वीडियो को बनाने का पर्पज़. So next if I'll talk about the GST profile interview मैंने एक दिया है. GST profile और I would say tax profile मैं ज़्यादा बोलूँगी क्योंकि उसमें मुझसे उन्होंने डायरेक्ट एज वेल एज इंडायरेक्ट टैक्स के दोनों के इंटरव्यू दोनों के ही क्वेश्चंस पूछे थे. लाइक व्हाट इज़ GSTR 9 and what is GSTR 9C. You have to explain about those and give them a difference between the two. Like और ये भी बोला कि now in this budget GSTR 9C now reconciliation statement since audit में होता था and audit has been removed by the budget, so say this also. Next question they can be asked like what you reconcile in GSTR 9C, only turnover or any other thing as well. They asked me this question, so there you have to say it's not just turnover reconciled, it also reconcile the balance of input tax credit. Okay, so this is the quite important question for GST profile if you are appearing for GST profile. The next one is clauses of tax audit. Explain the clauses of tax audit, like in what conditions tax audit is done. 44EB has some sort of 5 or 6 clauses, so you should all know the clauses or the conditions over there. Apart from that, since in my articleship experience I had filed TDS and TCS returns, so they asked me this question like describe the different forms of TDS and TCS returns, and in case of 24Q, that is salary TDS return, in Q4 what additional formalities you will do. So there you have to describe like Q1, 2 and Q3 में कोई फॉर्मेलिटी ऐसी नहीं है जो Q4 में स्पेसिफिकली हो रही है, वो आपको बताना होगा. लाइक क्या Q4 में स्पेसिफिक फॉर्मेलिटी होती है, जस्ट गिव यू अ ब्रीफ कि सैलरी डिटेल्स में हमको उसकी पूरी अदर इनकम की डिटेल्स लेना होता है, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी के लॉसेस कंसिडर करते हैं, ATC डिडक्शंस एंड ऑल, देन वील कैलकुलेट द टोटल एम्प्लॉयज़ इनकम, एंड कुछ अगर शॉर्ट डिडक्शन Q1, 2, 3 में नहीं हुआ तो हम Q4 में पूरा टैक्स उसका उस हिसाब से डिडक्ट करते हैं. सो ये सब एक एक्स्ट्रा फॉर्मेलिटी होता है जो दैट इज़ टू बी डन इन Q4 for 24Q filing and not ये हम Q1, 2 and Q3 में नहीं देखा जाता है. So this is an important question. The next is section 269 SS, 269 STS, ये वाले these are some important sections if you are going for the tax profile. So ये कुछ important questions है that you should cover up. The next one is some HR round questions. If you are if you cleared the technical round, then you will be moving to the HR round questions. So there are also some basic, some common questions which they ask from me and they will ask from you as well. Like the one it will also begin from tell me about yourself, as I earlier explained. Then the next, they will also ask from you your personal about your family background, or where you live, the city where you live in. So that's why I was saying that avoid this thing in tell me about yourself answer, because in HR round they will ask this question from you about your family and all, because they want to know actually whether you will be, by asking these types of questions, like whether you have experience of relocating to other cities in your articleship experience in your final, or you are completed your entire education from your hometown. So they ask these questions to know all about this. The next one is they ask, are you comfortable for relocation to a different city? So mostly they ask this question from all of them, and specifically from the girls as well. So this is also an important question. You have to be confidently say, even if you are not comfortable now, if you want to clear that interview, you have to say yes to this question. Okay, say yes, simply say yes, that you are very comfortable for relocation to a different city. Okay, and even you can add like I love traveling. So just give them expression that you are very much comfortable. The next one, questions basically from the girls, they ask whether you are having any plans for marriage. So this question they ask just to know that whether you are serious for your career building and for this job, or you are just doing it for a time pass of 4 to 5 months, right? So that's why they ask these questions. And you wouldn't believe that in how many interviews I have appeared till now, in 80% of the interviews they have asked these questions from me, whether you have any marriage plans till yet. So ये girls से तो questions आने ही आने वाला है, ठीक है? So be prepared for the answer of these questions. The next one in HR round they ask is your salary expectations. So as we have all prepared for answering some basic questions, and we have seen the YouTube videos where they suggest that while answering this question, you should say as per the industry standards, don't quote the number. And yeah, even I have used this trick in my interviews as well. But if they in the second time repeat it, just give me a number if they're asking for a number, or if the second time they also ask that as per this industry standards, okay, but you फिर भी हमें suggest करो that what you want, what are your expectations from the company. So be prepared for quoting that number as well. Like अगर आप इंटरव्यू दे रहे हो कोई CA फॉर्म्स का, तो CA फॉर्म्स के सैलरी रेट कम ही होते हैं बिग 4 वगैरह के कंपैरिजन में, या MNCs या इंडस्ट्री के कंपैरिजन में. तो जिस भी कंपनी के इंटरव्यू के लिए यू आर गोइंग टू अपीयर, वहाँ के कोई पुराने एम्प्लॉयज़ से या उसका रिसर्च करके आप इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड से वहाँ का एक कॉमन रेट पता कर लो कि फर्स्ट ईयर फ्रेशर CA को वहाँ का क्या रेट है, एंड उसी के हिसाब से यू शुड कोट दिस नंबर. बिकॉज अगर आपने बहुत ज़्यादा हाई नंबर दे दिया देन आप अपना चांस खुद ही कम कर रहे हो, ठीक है. सो एक तो आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है कि भाई मेरे को तो एज अ फ्रेशर मेरे को तो 7 लाख 8 लाख चाहिए ही चाहिए, बट मैं सजेस्ट करूँगी दैट इसका नंबर आप उस कंपनी के रिसर्च करके, वहाँ के एम्प्लॉय से बात करके उसी हिसाब से नंबर फिट करो कि जितना वो देने वाले हैं ना, आपका रेंज उसके अंदर ही फिट हो, ताकि यू आर क्रिएटिंग योर चांस फॉर दिस जॉब. एंड उसका पर्पज़ ही यही होता है कि सैलरी एक्सपेक्टेशन पूछने के लिए, व्हेन दे आर स्पेसिफिकली सेइंग दैट गिव अस अ नंबर, सो वहाँ पे यही पर्पज़ होता है दैट दे वांट टू चेक वेदर यू विल इंटरेस्टेड इन द पैकेज दे विल ऑफर. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट वन, स्ट्रेंथ्स एंड वीकनेसेस. What are your learnings from COVID? This is a question nowadays they are asking what do you do in your free time after appearing for the exams. There you were having a lot of free time, so do you engage yourself in any new learnings, in learning new skills? So these type of questions they ask, that whether you are a person who is engaged in developing yourself, engaged in adding new skills, or you just are engaged in the time pass. There you should quote some of the skills or some of the learnings you did. As if in my case I said that after exams I appeared for a communication skills course, so I said about that. Then they ask, okay, so what you learned from that skill course, what was about that. So sort of that questions are asked in HR round. So basically what answers you gave the next question they will sometimes depend on your answers. So be confident, be clear about your answers, okay? Because the next question if comes from your answer and you are not able to give, then there will be some doubt in the mind of interview that you are not clear in yourself, right? The next now, so the questions are over. These were the list of common questions which I believe will also benefit to you and can be asked from your interviews as well. So the next is just I would say a tip that if you don't know the answer to any question, then learn to say no honestly. Interviewers like that you are honest, because even in exams we don't know all the questions. So there what we do that, okay 90 का अटैम्प्ट करेंगे, ओके 80 का अटैम्प्ट करेंगे, 60 ले आएंगे, उसी में से हम अपनी एक्यूरेसी पे ज़्यादा फोकस करेंगे. एग्जाम्स में तो यही स्ट्रैटेजी फॉलो करके जाते हैं ना. कभी पेपर 100 मार्क्स का अटैम्प्ट बहुत ही कम होता है. मैं तो इस बार अपने स्ट्रैटेजी में था तो कि 90 मार्क्स का ही करना है, तो बहुत एक कूल हो जाते हैं हम कि ठीक है सब नहीं आता होता है. हम जब ये घर से एग्जाम्स के लिए भी सोच के जाते हैं तो इंटरव्यू के लिए भी सोच के जाओ कि किसी क्वेश्चन में तुमने बोल दिया कि सॉरी सर आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकलेक्ट द आंसर, आई डोंट नो द आंसर ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन, बट या आई विल डेफिनेटली आफ्टर द इंटरव्यू विल ब्रश अप द कॉन्सेप्ट. सो इट्स ओके, इट्स वेरी ओके टू से नो. They will not mind that question and they will shift the question to they will shift to the next question. So you can say no comfortably, because if you try to give gibberish answers ना, you are just making the situation complex for yourself. So no बोल के निकल लो ऐसे क्वेश्चन से जहाँ नहीं आता है, फंसो मत उस पर, ठीक है. अपना ही फ़ायदा करोगे अगर you are saying no. The next is just interview is about your confidence, your presentation skills, your communication and how cool and comfortable you are. So वहाँ पे इट्स नॉट जस्ट कि मुझे क्वेश्चन के आंसर देने हैं. वहाँ पे ये दो सोच से मत जाना कि मैं जॉब बेगर हूँ, मुझे तो बस जॉब चाहिए. ये एटीट्यूड नहीं होना चाहिए. कॉन्फिडेंस से जाओ, कंफर्ट से जाओ, अपना बेस्ट दो. एंड दूसरी ये सोच के भी मत जाना कि ये एक युद्ध है, सो बाहुबली की तरह मुझे तो सब कुछ करके आना है. तो ये भी अप्रोच मत लेके जाओ. जस्ट सिंपल कि यू आर गोइंग फॉर अ मीटिंग, यू हैव टू प्रेजेंट योर बेस्ट सेल्फ. That's it. Okay, so if I'll summarize an interview is a 4C process. अगर मैं अपने words में बोलूँ, your communication, your confidence, your comfort and your coolness and calmness. So जितना cool, जितना calm रहोगे, जितना confident रहोगे, जितना अच्छे से communicate करोगे उनके साथ, उतना ही अच्छा आपका इंटरव्यू जाने वाला है. So all the best and congratulations those who have get the job offers or those who have started their practice and or any other sort of areas you have engaged yourself, and all the best for all those who are searching for a job. You will also get your best one. And one more important thing, don't forget to smile during the entire process, because this shows that you are confident and you are not nervous and you will nail down the interview. Okay, so all the best guys, thanks a lot.